Okay, memo akwaba bio aha Nnawotwi Yi dwumadie wa Adom TV etwa ne ho nso ewo Asempa 94.7 FM baby a wo bia na kwaba. Yencha se emfi Ecowas omo decision say omo de military Junta ebeko Niger. Now West African leaders Asia ewo Abuja Nigeria yawade twemi and omo kan say omo hwe ne ekwedi a ade also mode military eko Niger no mkwohwe se bibia etumi atoto yie ye nyina nim se soldier for agi tumi efi democratically elected government and ye can say the democratically elected president Orabasum is under house arrest no Ecowas ko shia ya o say ni ekwe de entumi ntena ne yenhwe fi say de ano aka so monhwe emfa tumi enim ma papa ne bio omo anye ese omo buye nimtia enti no o say etumi de yenso ye force edeko na the president of Ecowas commission Omar Aliu Ture edin semwe tujwa bra omo share ewo Abuja Nigeria na wotwe omu yenkonkotie no ye ba ebedi ho nkomo
extensively discussed the latest development in Niger since the last extraordinary summit held on 30 July 2023, noted that all diplomatic efforts made by ECOWAS in resolving the crisis have been defiantly repelled by the military leadership of the Republic of Niger, taking note of the expiration of the one-week ultimatum given for the restoration of constitutional order in the Republic of Niger, decide as follows. A, reiterates its strong condemnation of the attempted coup d'etat and the continued illegal detention of President Mohamed Bazoum, his family, and members of his government. B, further condemns the condition in which President Bazoum is being detained and hold the CNSP fully and solely responsible for the safety, security, and physical integrity of President Bazoum, members of his family, and government. C, uphold all measures and principles agreed upon by the extraordinary summit held on Niger on 30th July 2023. Underscore the determination of the ECOWAS authority to keep all options on the table for the peaceful resolution of the crisis. Enforce all measures, in particular border closures and strict travel bans and assets freeze, on all persons or groups of individuals whose actions hinder all peaceful efforts aimed at ensuring the smooth and complete restoration of constitutional order. Warn member states who, by their action directly or indirectly, hinder the peaceful resolution of the crisis in Niger about the consequences for their action before the community. Call on the African Union to endorse all the decisions taken by the ECOWAS authority on the situation in Niger. Further call on all partner countries and institutions, including the United Nations, to support ECOWAS in its effort to ensure a quick restoration of constitutional order. Muhammadu Saad Abubakar, the Sultan of Sokoto, Ambassador Baba Kingibe, for the special envoy missions undertaken in Niger, Libya, and Algeria on behalf of the Chair of Authority. Express gratitude to His Excellency Bola Ahmed Tinubu, President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, and Chair of the ECOWAS Authority, for convening the extraordinary summit and for the manner in which he has been conducting the affair of the community as.
All right, Tinti, and the president of Ecowas Commission, Omar Aliu Ture, in Sama, or the two ja, ewo summit nase, no. Well, a deep sunny security expert, or cancer, ewa homano, so, or joining via Zoom, yen in Dinkum. Adib, me watching, we have a code.
Boko, Minia, who's way?
Yanko Podia chair, papa. Well,
I want to Jimmy, sorry.
Ebe yi say What's a pullover? But just I don't want to watch a biaka and your bad, sir.
My shirt is there 5. Number 5.
Anyway, interesting. Well, we are being faced with, a very huge challenge from Niger. West African leaders at now who said, near Kono, Burkina Ekoye, Mali Ekoye, Niger Eko. So they be a yet none ye Casani and Tuana Moa, as a Numa Enkoyi, in terms of idea, ye the force on Eko. From the security point of view, this is in way, who is saying?
Yo, me that say, Mamincha Welbeck, Walanyo, any acquisition, Siamunina, Juma Paa, Muye Magana. Ampa, in the past, many other analysts, they are criticizing Ecowas. You see, Ecowas, or Muti say, Krame, Minim said the Bukanuchi, a dog that barks but doesn't bite. Ye didi keke, but and to mean kabubia. Anti Guinea, Omoye Ku, Burkina Faso, Mali, na yewa attempted coup and ewo Guinea Bissau, Chad, Idris Deby, ni papa wuye, also unconstitutional means or J. Aquiniano. Yenyina ni madia currently also was Senegal. Na President Macky Sall also per se on extended ni stay. Omuye demonstrations be currently as many ukasano. Omwa Gu complete disbanding of opposition was Senegal. Omoichi Osman Songo Onuna Oye opposition leader. The whole West African subcontinent, gidi chaos everywhere, and I expect to say Ecowas as mother institution would instill some order. Unfortunately, on one to me, yes, sir. So I think, sir, Niger asemno beye to say Ecowas change opinions and our perceptions. Junior nipa with respect to the fact that omon to me yeshi, and in an attempt to doing so, omuye over. Because immediately after the coup, Nami expect to say Omube sends the delegation so that Omuni coup leaders no Omube Kasa. Then after that, maybe Omube ye biom, maybe me and Sa Omube ye biom. So Omwan make any progress and Sa Kasano and Koi Nima, then Omube to impose sanctions. But immediately Omusi border closure. Land, your friend, air closure, sanctions, any idea. But my own way, if you say sanctions, no, and yet Niger be affected Ghana for. I mean, as many will cast away, minia. Only say onions, Nibwa Akosro.
Yeah.
Because now, almost ton bag, about 900 Ghana cedis. Afi, yet to say 5,600 Ghana cedis. And according to market analysts, survey, share bet me for 3,000. So,
as we speak, in over 70 trucks and Kaumode annual bagan and Omunina lock up on the borders of Benin.
And from nowhere, almost see a pese young kuntakwa. Almost see no peace is ever too bad, no war is ever too good. There's no way at a point. There's no way at the point we see enye. There's no way we see they be never kosa because ya kusa ntakwano ebe affecti whole West African sub-region. Anytime you're complaining about the way our Omorani economy, according to World Bank, say last year, close to 1 million Ghanaians are on here for. Additional 1 million last year. So Ghana Statistical Service almost publish almost every earlier this year. Almost see a lot of Abrantium Omuni Juma Omo school, Omunishi, a bulk number of them. Okay, and inefficiencies when you blaming on COVID-19, any Russia invasion of Ukraine. So after you say unkuntakwa ewo or backyard, so you can imagine idea.
But if wow, shall say can say one other security expert, they be a moka say Ecowas. I say Sebio or Pokeke on Tumina or Onka. And it's a few was okay. Me poka crana say ngovoning tea into me pesemeka. And yani emotion Ecowas no.
Good. So before you be assessments be brave, okay. Even armed robbers, omu ya nipa boni for, but before omu be cooperation, omu ye surveillance any adi. So in the name of ye per se en gidi ye kwa ebetumi fa so be vre your economy your buying bosem because there was serious militant activity in Niger. Al-Qaeda, ISIS affiliated groups, Bebre, America, any France for Omar Kusanta, Kwanusa, to the extent, say, 2017, your first massacre, ambush, Tungu ambush, will be up, say, on Google, or bet me on Google, Tungu, Niger, or Mu ambushi, America, any Nigerian soldier for, or Muku, American soldier for a 9. And it became a huge political storm, Washington, in politically. And so you're careful, because Al-Qaeda, any ISIS for no confusion. So confusion no her, then they take advantage to reassert more authority, or which we are reorganizing, or which we are re-equip, then probably re-strategizing and start, going after countries. When him say a confusion in na Al-Shabaab or gain so much stronghold was Somalia because after Siad Barrier, Somalia, now the central administration, then Al-Shabaab quickly came in. Sudan in the 1990s, Al-Qaeda almost gaining grounds were harmed because of the confusion. Then and so many other countries are terrorists or take advantage of confusion to establish their bases.
But and yet to prevent that Antina Ecowas yentumi ma sanyo manan kosunti yemma democratically elected president no until so that conditions we emba na Al-Shabaab ne ISIS money adem from honjim no.
Okay, so you were as a foreign policy person, your strategies are you use. So mean kanina ewo TV so, but surely a soldier should be the last resort. You will never be one of it, I mean, you continue with the sanctions regime, then at the same time, we negotiate already. Say Ibimo traditional rulers, including Madame Fo, Lamido Sanusi, or Koshio, then after that, Omuko, Algeria and other countries. When him say, Chad, even though I'm a member of Ecowas, they will not be part of it. Algeria, Ecowas, they have, they have been categorical, they will not be part of it. Libya, because your Kosa and Tapanomia, only my dear Libya, there will be massive inflow of into Niger from Libya. And through Nigeria, it will not end there. There will be a trickle-down effect, littoral region, especially Ghana, Togo, Benin, NARD. Burkina Faso, Omoni Mali for almost any act of aggression against Niger, act of war against us. And also, so what it means is your cause intervention, a trace say, Yeni Burkina Faso, your next door neighbor, your Puntakwa. And they're very dangerous. So I think Ecowas almost concentrating on the other side. But most importantly, I would expect, say, Ecowas Omwadrin Ebeba on working to improve Nyama and create a conducive environment for coups to happen.
Okay.
Because a litany of issues, so meaning and assembly, and sometimes people feel that to be honest with you, a soldier for a drew for like magic wand or bar. Then overnight, things don't work that way. Besides, a soldier for there's no accountability. We are democracy be new. Mali just recently, when him say Omuku demonstrators be demonstrating over the fact that Omuni Johnny, Omuni so any other Omuku community leader no. So there's no justification for coup, but that notwithstanding, then dealing with that issues of youth unemployment, issues of human rights violations, issues of manipulation of constitution, so that may check so. But it is Ecowas, they don't seem to be paying attention to some of these fundamental issues. Okay, Alassani Ouattara, no Akonyano so first, second, afi was sister Mrano or third. Okay, Adam Abaro also or first, second, afi opese uncle third. Makisa also, but just that Senegal for Omusi they be penny. Guinea, and also Alpha Conde at that time, also opposite third, and also it became issues in Nipa Wuya. So Ecowas almost sister because we say, yeah, all my opinion, Nana for at the time, or yeah, Ecowas chair, or no second term. Because according to them, no more reforms be and per se be truncated our reforms, And I'm here to know reforms, whether it's been activated because I would expect say pay attention to some fundamental issues. Ufe African Charter on Democracy, Governance, any elections. Chapter 8, Article 23, very specific about constitutional coups. See, and yeah, soldier for Obisi Samrano to continue his stay in power, and also a constitutional coup. And now who engage in electoral malfeasance, who we are in an election, a constitutional coup. It says a soldier for no. So yeah, let's pay attention to some of these other issues.
So it's because of a normal way internet man for be attempted to change the constitution. I mean, Ouattara, like you mentioned, some other state, So the people ending the attitude that leaders in put up say, more time never swan. No more pay extension, and that's the basis for all of these, right?
Absolutely. Any other issues? Because already Murantano because okay, widespread corruption.
Okay.
Politicians media freedom so is not guaranteed. But Ukasa, you know that there are implications. Okay, so sad no money because meaning say a come to me, me kasa at least a very reduce a buffalo, but a come to me now. So at the same time, to me kasa, so I want him create an incendiary cocktail. I bet you me are exploding. But my main car assembly, you see me a student of security by Mbosem, I mean, me who be me to me research, get to the fundamentals, understand what the issues are. The fact that Obika Assembly was TV so and our radio so minjitum sao, they be me a researcher. Me who say massive disinformation about Niger, Omoni, France for any idea. The thing is, and I can see that there are third-party forces responsible for Saadi, okay? Almost France, because uranium biome Niger, energy security is in danger, they be yes, France, 10% of uranium and free Niger. When you say reserve of uranium and your friends and energy resources for over 10 years, even from Bibiabium. Secondly, meaning say France, Omoni Niger, Omoye Jumapa with respect to stemming the tide of terrorism. So we share statistics, Where the Asema Mikano meaning say a bimu be they will not be happy about, but that's the truth. We share statistics, Burkina Faso, Mali, and other countries who compare it to Niger, we realize that Niger has made massive gains so far as countering violent extremism is concerned. Number of attacks occur from CRA. According to Global Terrorism Index, last year, the most impacted country by terrorism in Afghanistan, followed by Burkina Faso. But after Taliban's Omuwoho, so next year it is expected that Afiwe, Burkina Faso would be the most impacted country by terrorism in the whole world. We are seeing so a lot of gains has been made. Niger. Mayantia CSA military government, and also Omuni Ahondin is not as formidable as people think because there were three interests at stake here. There were presidential guard, and no na Chanifi. There were main army, regular army. The third one, and no special forces. So Omu try say Omu Bema main army, Omu opinion your friend Modi. Onu na obenye Oman opinion at the point of see they be mean pet. Afi Omu see special forces, Omu commander on your opinion. Afi or see they be. So there are machinations, control from other sources. And yet Chan in all like the power figure. Niger, DB. So a bit unstable and nuanced. Okay, so with your own research, you just consume whatever people tell you, and your own see the way. So military regime shaky. It's very shaky. And at any time, I bet you may collapse. So and Ecowas should be very strategic about the way almost confront society, And France, obviously, France, we are Niger, and but unim say me blame France.
Okay, so Adibunim, maybe back to you now. Why explore the angle of Russia? Because we've seen Russian flags being hoisted by more demonstrations near the and again on the angle I can say it looks that the military palace guards and strong, isn't it an opportune time say Ecowas Borema on between and win anyway? But hold on for me, I'm in studio. Paul Grave Boachidankwa, a government spokesperson on governance and security, or you'll be so and any Ebuaka North constituency on the ticket of the MPP. Paul Grave, good morning.
Good morning.
Well, you share the Niger and some I mean, you've heard Adib there. They say the palace guard is strong, but again, military intervention is not the way to go. If said then or year around this time, need to mean we need what's happening in Niger.
Kojo maminchi na French Emma with you for in Russia for na yanka say it's very unfortunate. Say Niger akwakodu baby akwakodu. There's been a bit of a precedence kakra in the sub-region of West Africa. Ecowas heads of states, community of heads of states, protocols be now as part of their protocols, the major tenet, to protect democratically elected governments. So you can say Abaimbi democratically elected, not just a Chromino and Atuaba amani pabako se ombrano be diomoso.
Okay.
Now Ecowas no ejina ho and make sure say ombe protect all democratically elected government. Abaya democracy no kwan so e de afa so ombrano be di so. Me follow Niger nkomo no. Issues no very very worrying. Dia home ti ye pa. Nanso Ecowas into me jina ho no enhwe emma omwanka so member state Niger eka ho say President Bazoum omaye palace coup d'etat achinatu Ese so mbomode na omode imra bi tutu ono. For us, definitely as a country and even as a government, you are part of ECOWAS since 1975. You are participating in all protocols of ECOWAS. You are participating in all ECOMOC-related military interventions. Aba. In recent times, in this Fourth Republic, Sombekaya, Laurent Gbagbo, 2011. Now on Pese, Obe hand over, Ama Hassan Ouattara.
Yeah.
ECOWAS, on the last resort, ASA, on the military intervention. In recent times, Gambia, Banjul, Yajame, no soon Pese, Obe hand over. In fact, a state of emergency for over 3 months, 90 days. ECOWAS can say, Omode, military intervention. In the wisdom of President Nana Danko Ekufu, at the time, I know, two-term ECOWAS chair. Or say, TAP initiative, be a friend Accra initiative. Now, Accra initiative, there are 7 member states omutumi share intelligence and omutumi gather intelligence amongst themselves. Niger is a very strong member of the Accra initiative. Intiasema is within the sub-region of West Africa. But clearly, as I say, making sure, say, asumdue ebeba. Me read the proponents bebre, 18 bebre. I think say beyond the standby military force na yede ba call Niger and making sure say asumdue ebeba no. A strong level of diplomatic incommodity. Because sa okunwe no diplomacy and yede be winning. Over the last week, Nnawotwi Yi no, Emir of one of the emirs of Kano, Sanusi, Eko Niger, and Omukoko Dinkomo. To be fair, I think so. Most special envoy Kromosumai, Sultan of Sokoto Krani, he was not allowed to meet the Nigerian Juntas. But as you see a bomode na say Niger would return back to democratic governance. Now, President, they should release the president. Now, in Komodieni be into Minkonim. As I say, democracy, tenets of democracy, freedom of association, freedom of political involvement, freedom of religion, freedom of human rights, freedom of expression, and a freedom of media participation. Now, say, share stronger democracies are a war we are seeing gradually, Africa as a continent and the various blocks in Africa, from the Western bloc to the Central bloc to the Eastern bloc to the Southern bloc to the Northern bloc, the various blocks, your democracy, in team ye. But by and large, I see a bomodina, you making sure say our democracy, it to me a moving from mid-weak to strong.
But say, whoever can say your democracy in team ye. But some of these leaders and so, and then your more years say, a young more harm person major power and some person de constitution dear agrono, and a shank for before. Now, if you look at Niakos or West Africa, we've had one in a Burkina Faso, right? Nina no yadia no more engineer president in the year home. We've had Mali, Yenyabi, Chad. We've had some in Guinea. Unim Salasan Ouattara, so I extended constitution, I extended the time of when you know ya de anko for ninja. So leaders nankasa ye the democratic means to abamono, and they supposed to be blamed for the ECOWAS.
Oh, Kojo, to be fair, ECOWAS frowning on constitutional extensions. But I see a kind of say every member of ECOWAS is a sovereign state.
That's true.
In their sovereignness, as I say, Kromumai, Ebomodin, and making sure say, democratically elected leaders, they don't, and this almost some constitution. But when it comes to the attention of ECOWAS, about ECOWAS for attention, ECOWAS almost always tries to say, Ebomodin, and making sure say these things are prevented. But you see, the power resides in the people. ECOWAS there a collection of heads of state omo njuma bebre a omo di. One of them, and it's only making sure that democracy, is not flaunted upon. Into some of their member states, some will try a constitution, in sense Ecowas almost always any omokasa and making sure say Sanyamano AC. But the power resides in omoye citizens of those countries now. Omo mampenino per se, almost sa constitution. These things will not come to fruition.
How can we tell? Said those decisions, they are citizenry, back, so that ECOWAS can then decide, okay, because your citizens backed it, when government of Ghana now also create regions, there was a referendum, so we all so then you know that it's backed by it. But these people, parliament and control parliament, no extension, and no problem I was say ECOWAS dine initial say maybe the root cause of all of this is the disappointment of citizens in government and the ensure how it between rectify not to really put a stop to all of this.
Because there's ECOWAS parliament. Now meaning say ECOWAS parliament every now and then almost share in name we see in other parliamentary institutions the sub-region of West Africa. A number of times, Sanyama Weber on more attention. They try to draw from the interpretation of the law. It was Sakrum Hono. Senebeya, Sanyama no NC. But Sesia no Niger in Seminar Bano, very worrying. Because Burkina Faso and Mali, Edo Muajim say whatever it takes, almost support the military takeover of President Bazoum. And then also a former rebel leader. Minister for Tourism in Niger. And so I can say, obe making sure, say, obe overthrow military juntas. In Yemana is, a very, very, different uniform session. But the advice and the counsel to the Nigerians military junta, and even from ECOWAS, any more sanctions on the Atutu, and they say, making sure that we are having a diplomatic incommodity. Nebema military juntas assessor more drain a year way incommodia ya debeto to one. We learn from precedents. Sanctions are yede to honum, we are seeing yade to honum Emma Russia. You adverse effects. We are seeing all well and good. Sanctions are ECOWAS ede to honum among Niger. So more closely airspace. Ghana for ye evacuate your move in Niger. Ye the almost back through the land, through Beninua corridors. Now what you need train when you evacuate Ghana for be some mumbra back home to safety. The Ghana mission in Niger, any Ghana for Asia, making sure say omo person mo bano because say you voluntary, omo person mo bano. A buying making sure say o take cost ni nya amomunya babedu Ghana asundiem. Inti sanctions Nigeria for akate power. Now power Nigeria for akate say boni bebra we are for nani omudi nomdu osum. Iti sanctions ni bi ono ma very 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 strong. Now if the Nigerians juntas to me survive these sanctions, then it's going to be a very difficult situation. I say you're into the future. But I would admonish, say the Nigerians themselves, ECOWAS, the military standby force, Obia coincide into Niger. They should ensure, say, almost have diplomatic conversations. Because so we kratu, now only for kratua, otu obeto. But so we kratu na unim senya obe handle tuona, and no ye 2 minutes okrano. Inti 2 minutes say, uwok tuono, unim se otua ebe kubi and ebe probi. And so also want to, but what the kasa and ebe kasa. Inti the coming days in India, we need to watch out and see how things would unfold because the sub-region of West Africa is not extremely stable.
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 All because of leaders no musubang. When Obiaba Bam, Obiaba no be weaken the institutions of accountability and transparency, or yes, such that the institutions cannot even live up to or mandate their mom. sometimes you look at the opulence lifestyle of these leaders. I'm mindful no ebufo. In yet time I was say Ecowas etna. Now omo ye introspection say then ko yinti amaye because if you take Africa now change into blocks the most unstable part is here be enye ye anameboa.
Oh, by and large, yes.
Yeah,
by
so
and large.
it's not time to say Ecowas. It's not. No more introspection being say maybe enye nko for na ye and we have to look at it. Shouldn't Ecowas it is almost punishment be a yes stringent at the bar. So won criticize nkala san watara ye. Once on yes 10 day na yina pananka sanctions be akwamano. Wouldn't that also be a solution?
Ecowas there, because you can say every now and then, you're very strong with sanctions. In fact, some of the countries in the cry suspend you from Ecowas.
When is a military takeover? But
no, the matter maker say there are a lot of the countries now you suspend you more if you Ecowas. It's an say near community no ejidi no. Sa krono ne leader no empese omubeji inti the Ecowas community no sanction suspend omo. Say they will not benefit from that whole esprit de corps we feeling community togetherness within the sub-region. But you see, ECOWAS is a stronger bloc. I see Abomodina encourage you as a stronger bloc because issues now are rising. Is see who the end of it. But all the issues now rising now is gradually within Francophone West Africa. Francophone West Africa almost some level of peculiarity there. We need to study it. In recent times, Matisse Mali for a official language of French, if you know, since you almost accept about 13 local languages
as the official language.
As the official language. All of it now gradually in maybe ECOWAS yes, clearly ECOWAS has there be almost reforms almost steady reforms and almost steady climate on the democracy some of them cry it may not come into the media domain because every now and then they are always having consultations with the leaders of the countries. Say nebeya peace ECOWAS there they be a peace peace asumdie and then also ECOWAS also the lives of the people. So nipa honkwa ehia ECOWAS because all the military coup d'etat ba all the stability ba it impacts even the sub-regional's effort in bringing investors from the globe into the region. Because the region is not stable.
Paul gave watch it Dankwana out in Kano. Young Kwane Dr. Sadiq Educhum, the acting director, Institute for Intelligence and Strategic Security. Doc, Memachi na Memoakwa, but not joining you on phone. Doc, a man for say using force may probably end the solution I here now. Yen as when him say I said the ECOWAS block, what you say Africa moving to blocks I see a party AI unstable. Near FCA quite troubling. Debe nkwani betumi afa so e be delay with it afani afani na ye be reach a compromise na bibia to ye.
Yo mame da minia na me fa injection ko ma oye one ashofo no nye etefo anope wo say na wo share oye big network. Minia no wa within can am the wababa in semnu araye na eshe oye Africa ha since 2010 over 40 coups any attempted coups and SC or Africa emu efa 20 no ni nyina no SC or West Africa including Sahel Chad. As we share since 2019, experienced 7 coups, both attempted and then successful ones. out of this, 6 every French-speaking countries are former French colonies. Inti, I say in Comodina, I can military junta no anamo tua yenina ye ditum say ofa ade friend say nipa asetena asomdwe esi ho ene ade friend say democracy no ene governance na dia na esafata yenina ye diatum since 1990 ye friend no friend say the third wave of democracy no ye ditum say ade friend say elections ene ye de beyi in the north ama on biara we are including West Africa no in nyoma bia ACC abina na say you try say you bu ye ni guso na bibi say sia na ye de ni akodan only the action of the people but na we you say in 24 eja bia ni hono mo a anase wusie bia ni ho a eja eni asie enti dia ACC no den na ema no eba I think say you to me address the root cause of some of this coup d'etats now, both institutional coup d'etats and then military coup d'etats now. And no able to me I guarantee that ultimate peace now yes no. And no money be anything. Me fano afenua. Me fano internal factors. Internal factors na be anything. Bad governance. Who share the AC West Africa Sambre. Who share amembu bua yebu amembu poning ayebua. Your leaders ababeye so selfish, so greedy, amassing wealth, corruption was through any mismanagement of state resources. Emma Timemufo edi ohia edi eko ahuchiremu a eno no ebasa na ye feature say address those issues. Yeba injustice, marginalization, yeka constitutional tampering. All these things are factors are edu pepensu bia etume de dia ye nyina ye ka se enye no ediba. Esu a former French colonies esu ana Ecowas any AU no ometie sa esu no ewo supreme e make attempt ombese omo correct sa ade no se de ayetete no no kre na nhwehwemu so akre se beta France sa wote wo memu na se wo sikadwa a wenya se wo de koto obi oman foforo central bank na wankasa kwa wo hie bia afianse na akọ bomu bitia anasa akọ jibia enna ende sa sovereignty a ye ka no eno hifa na ewo ena wo ba Ecowas Constitutive Act anasa protocols and in the treaties draw every AU Constitutive Act any UN Charter no it talks about 1 peaceful resolution of conflict among member states of the union through such appropriate means as may be decided upon by the assembly. But the also where Article 4E, Article 4F, SA, prohibition of the use of force or threat to use force among member states of the union. Power CB and ECOWAS draw free AU and also talks about non-interference by any member state in the internal affairs of another. Inti se oman bi ti ho na ohwe se ne nhihye ne sikasemu ene ne amembu no omubu no eyade ekotia oman no se oman no entumi nkonkan na timemufo eka na se ye leaders no entumi anhwe kon befa so a omo be hyehyɛ ama timemufo no so omo ho atomwa because Ecowas ankasa so preachi ade a o say Ecowas for the people, not Ecowas of the state. Inti dia Ecowas ankasa kwa HNSS. Wo oman dia ni jumedia odin. Ese ohun se eye timemufo no na omuhunya kane. Ba sisi ano wo ba na wo hwe kwan a amembu no ekoso ewo Africa ni West Africa kankan The whole thing is like a cabal. Omo ehwe say omo mo ho betom na timemu fodo do na nkasa no omo kwa ahochemu. Eno na edisa no manyina ba. Nti yesa na ye bra say course enye no. Ese say ye hwe say sa no manyina no ye di fanse ya hwe atoto niye. Etoso mienu eye external influence. Ecowas na nkasa wo na nkasa no ende ne ho. Omo jumadi ahoro mudi omo tikasemu ne dodo na obehwe se FBA na esi amanone enti ema eya omo anamontu bi oso mutu no eya na eye challenge kaka di amomo eno so eya de esese yehwe kwan be na ebefa se yebehwe se yetumi eka ye hobom na yetumi ensure say that independence of the Ecowas state na nkasa ewo ho na nkasa yetumi di ye ho nkomo yetumi di ye hu dwa tambra ye kasei a COVID by Nigeria across in the borders. Incorporate into Minko. We look at the things that are happening in Nigeria. Not say Obeka say you're the force and say the solving issues. And that was your first attempt and that's a first resort. It was wrong. And to many watch Dan Kwaya Adin any friends Adib Sani Adin say. As I say, explore all the avenues Ecowas Nankasa lay down. Diplomatic preventive measures will be a very secret. They have to do this thing. Now, if you know, you share a friend say dialoguing. Or say a dialogue, no baba na yema yenuanom na ti asese no crisis so ampa say e bia no ma bi touch ma e wo manimu na nso ensam pata say ye de etuo ebeyi aban a amanfo ni nyina e de omukokomoti eyi na eti ono ye beyi egu nti no ye nhwe kwa ye befa so a ye de yie betu yie na mom say ye gina ho na ye say na Nigeria ankasa no they have a little bit of a challenge because Oma Baye to say West African superpowers and now Oma no do na sometimes come for some of the Oma they are no money in the home papa inti as I say yes ne dia ye nyina ya kan si hono ma be ye dia man and no and as I say to sa anamono and no economic freedom of the people. We need to create jobs for these young guys. Youth are suffering in Africa. Your friend is in Shishomache say the youth in Africa forms about 19% of the world population of youth.
Bra, yen konkofa the drawer koso. Yeba baka will explore the angles. Only enter is a yeba call a NLA nearby yeba. Dr. Sadiq Duchum, that's why ha Sadiq Adib Sani Edaso Ejina Zoom so. Yeni on back to us name yenko NLA na yenko share a drawer koso ne bia na obi a lucky e wini bibi. Jina eba. Ntimema kwa babio Enfambra Nnawotwi Yi Dwumadie wa Adom TV and Asempa 94.7 FM. Well, Game Park omo draw na e kwhwe no na winning number for a net 12 August. And a numbers no 1 4 7 and 5. Numbers winning numbers for Game Park and 12 August and 1 4 7 and 5. Enti no any numbers no men call Dr. Sadiq doc entina na wo kan sem na me bisa say obo numbers of QSC or Africa dodo aye in West Africa bisa say dey entina say ye parts no and they susceptible to these schools bibi o wa LC hu.
Yes answer na me question no I clarify. I think that I am not the acting director for the Institute for Intelligence and Strategic Security.
Okay.
Currently, I'm a fellow with WASI, that is the West Africa Center for Counter Extremism.
Okay.
And then a lecturer with Prince Coast University. The other can say, Omandia Ewo. And as a regional block, there are more problems. Now, over West Africa, historically, there are ACCCA, and yet something new. From the days of Rollins, Thomas Sankara, the rest of military guys are taking over various governments. No. In no more abrini minano omo ejinaso edi taking over democratically elected government in recent times. No. Share their mabos and I'm just taking it from since 2019. Yenya 7 coups, 6 French speaking countries part of the Ecowas bloc. No.
Okay.
That in Kopuni Nano, Yenche say a so ben. One, Minya Adib Ekasefa a insurgency, jihadist issues they are all battling with. And no one. 2, let's look at the governance issues. Amembuna or mubuno. Kwambe na mufasa or mubusa amembuno. Now, as the peculiar nature running through all the African countries, Oba Ghana ha, and yet different. It's just that nobody and a Juma Edima in Ghana for no. As I'm ready, make to me the Mesa Estimable Akase, Ghana Yadi, and Namsa institutions there. Yet to me, Eddie Asiho, yet the say, peace and security architecture, no, Edimu, na a free friends and security sector governance, and also Edimuno, and only been a abwayan. But who share their 80 of French African countries now? A lot of the things borders on external issues. And if you know, I dear friend say, that constitutional tempering. About issues of unemployment. I mean, generally, with the Kabumwa, economic insecurities are all these countries, you know. And no, the issues are, as I say, leaders, you know, a classic, no, and that's all they know it. They know it of all the things. Those are the things we need to address.
Okay.
Now, you're much more NDA. Now, if you went to any timina come in Kitinkiti Biasha Honomo, you more dialogical way. And so remove all those blocks. And not on my yes, aboriginal and more any asumuji.
Okay.
So, yeah, your friend say, on my penny or Liberia can I want the Facebook page. Also say, institutional coups, no, Ejaya, military coups will stop.
So on that point,
that we are currently having.
On that point, what say you can say because Mete wo any Adib any Palgrave, Muyina Mujia to Muse Ecowas any sort of day force Eco Niger now. While let's state fundamentals be a mass annual way in a air console. Question is there be partner Ecowas between me then if say or the military choir and you will see a preventing these things from happening. Once you identify the fundamentals. A crime na Ecowas pass on between a seaway so that any more way ye who could attempt in in West Africa.
As I say, one, each other's keeper. Say Niger a war problem with France. As I say, Ecowas as a bloc because the UN recognizes regional blocs as a supreme entity. Say also omutumi edi omoho so nti say wonua ewo ahokyeremu a etese wotu saa ahokyere no ho anamo mentwen ma oyenemma ansana wabaye se oba be exercise wo be exercise wo internal powers na wo no enokra no enya that's not the first option a etese wo take it. 2 yen say dia ya kama ye ho say within and among ourselves no when I before so I be a hunkita ho yen friends hu nsem somebody can ya block a friend say borders anyo na dia say eba krom ha krama yetumi didi adwuma kra a shorty no kra no e other friends repercussion e ba on minus no one economic issues no kan no nyina o say yetumi yefiri honom this artificial blocks no e say yetumi efiri honom na e say no ya ka say yentumi hwe say this a common currency issues no yebetumi enya yankasa ye common currency yebetumi dey do yehuduma. So the issues are there, they know it. As I said, we know, for instance, Eba Accra initiative for Omampeni Akufo-Addo initiative, it was a good thing because when who said the vision who said no Say yentumi didi ya hun komo na dia ya kama ya on yentumi a implement ya. Yankasa ye diemu entumi ensiye. Enti kwen ya say yefa so. Enti sa na say ye. Na yetumi ema offense sub-region no ebe peaceful. Look, Ghana is in a dire situation. And I can sometimes among for Kasa I say you want to promote some offense a chaotic situation in the country. No. What should their AC around us in Ghana? Ghana noa sebete party yetumi atoto ye nyoma ekosim pempensu bia amanyi na ade yatum no ebaya na efide the extra responsibility na the boss because say obi efi Niger eba obi efi Benin eba obi efi Burkina Faso eba obi efi Mali eba yentumi nkasa ye dan etia de amomo as humanitarian as we are and we have been no as I say yetumi bie ya funu mu ewo kwampa so and now yetumi edema sankofo ye de edepa anya sa kwa yenkra no a ye gi atum say ye the beacon of hope for Africa no ebe na enukra so e brase so we need to come together as a people ye leaders no nyamo ho sem petmenkunya any time nyoma na omode ti omoni so any that wo ba omo any omo na fofo omo ne omo family any those kind of things are not helping us in making sure say that democratic governance system na here practice no ko ye di amaya and I think those are the things we are supposed to ensure say we remove those barriers from the region.
Dr. Sadiq Edu Chu medase pass onyamre join here the din komo on Nnawotwi Yi on Adom TV ni Asempa 94.7 FM. Adib Sani ewo Zoom. Me nene nwie na membra power grave. Okay, great. And member power grave. So now it looks like mommy and saying Majatum say military intervention is not the way to go. So in the coming days, that didn't need that concept was between here. Already Omaka say standby force in there anytime on the Ombeko. But you're also saying say, well, let's continue with the other measures and say if we can deal with it. So in the coming days, what should Ecowas do?
Say Kojo, Ecowas the almost the sanctions not to one. A very, very strong sanctions. Me sure say so.
Okay.
To its logical conclusion. But in the midst of that, me I so say the various chief of defense staffs, Ecowas chief of defense staffs, planning meeting.
Okay.
Because we say Ecowas the sanctions not to one then there must be an implementation team.
Yeah.
On my last resort, no, the military standby force. But I say, in focus on that. But it's been part of ECOWAS protocols from 1975 till date.
What do you know, sir, or more? Aside the.
Although, sir, definitely there are diplomatic measures. Yes, diplomatic to make sure, say, peace will prevail within the sub-region. And I mean, no doubt in my mind, say, at the end of the day, no, Niger for whatever, however it takes, be sure say they will return back to constitutional rule.
Okay.
If it means say be a military junta, no na. Or resign from military, you know, about contesting at president, and we've seen some before.
Okay.
I mean, in this sub-region, whatever it is, I see in your day in Bible and Yakasa and support you.
Okay.
It will not deteriorate further.
Okay. All right, that's fine. But whilst at it, Deba in Ghana earlier, okay, but maybe I feel we are joining. Then Ghana by a year, but Ghanaians are more Niger now.
So Ghanaians are more Niger now. Ghana for Bampin and other Danko Kufuado are buying any Ministry of Foreign Affairs, National Security, Ministry of Interior, the Ghana mission in Niger. Yashasye any Ghana for Asia. Yashasye ye evacuate a number of them are willing to come back home. So in the last year and this year, no, now if I feel a train when I feel where I have been, evacuations kakra. Russia for invading Ukraine, evacuation of Ghanaian students and South Sudan in Tokasi, Ghanaian students evacuation. This are third. It was best practices be a
okay.
You activate all the protocols to make sure say Ghana for is safe. Buying take a bit of some measures.
Okay.
Any resources available buying making sure say Ghana for Ninya safely to Ghana.
Okay.
The council has ECOWAS for exclusive airspace. Ghana for you don't by road.
Okay.
Through the Benin corridors.
Okay.
I don't know. Ecowas who any your fraternity near whom you want to see so.
Okay.
It's all well and good.
Okay.
Buying born home
okay.
Ghana for you.
And so far Ghana for saying I register some person buffet.
At the moment the numbers don't keep coming in.
Okay.
Every now and then. It's I'll check again and then let you know maybe how you do in terms of numbers.
As of the last count.
Oh, as in the hundreds
okay.
of people and we are willing to come back.
Okay, all right. But that's it. Paragraph Boache Dankwa, government spokesperson on governance and security.